We are witnessing a movement that will completely transform any part of business and society. The word we have given to this movement is big data, and it will change everything, from the way banks and shops operate to the way we treat cancer and protect our world from terrorism. No matter what job you are in, and no matter what industry you work in, big data will transform it. Some people believe that big data is just a big fad that will go away if they ignore it for long enough. It won't. The hype around big data and the name may disappear, which wouldn't be a great loss, but the phenomenon will stay and only gather momentum. What we call big data today will simply become the new normal in a few years' time, when all businesses and government organizations use large volumes of data to improve what they do and how they do it. I work every day with companies and government organizations on big data projects, and thought it would be a good idea to share how big data is used today across lots of different industries among big and small companies to deliver real value. But first things first, let's just look at what big data actually means. What is big data? Big data basically refers to the fact that we can now collect and analyze data in ways that was simply impossible even a few years ago. There are two things that are fueling this big data movement: the fact that we have more data on anything, and our improved ability to store and analyze any data. More data on everything. Everything we do in our increasingly digitized world leaves a data trail. This means the amount of data available is literally exploding. We have created more data in the past 2 years than in the entire previous history of mankind. By 2020, it is predicted that about 1.7 megabytes of new data will be created every second, for every human being on the planet. This data is coming not just from the tens of millions of messages and emails we send each other every second via email, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, etc., but also from the 1 trillion digital photos we take each year and the increasing amounts of video data we generate. Every single minute, we currently upload about 300 hours of new video to YouTube, and we share almost 3 million videos on Facebook. On top of that, we have data from all the sensors we are now surrounded by. The latest smartphones have sensors to tell where we are, GPS, how fast we are moving, accelerometer, what the weather is like around us, barometer, what force we are using to press the touch screen, touch sensor, and much more. By 2020, we will have over 6 billion smartphones in the world, all full of sensors that collect data. But not only our phones are getting smart, we now have smart TVs, smart watches, smart meters, smart kettles, fridges, tennis rackets, and even smart light bulbs. In fact, by 2020, we will have over 50 billion devices that are connected to the internet. All this means that the amount of data and the variety of data, from sensor data to text and video, in the world will grow to unimaginable levels. Ability to analyze everything. All this big data is worth very little unless we are able to turn it into insights. In order to do that, we need to capture and analyze the data. In the past, there were limitations to the amount of data that could be stored in databases. The more data there was, the slower the system became. This can now be overcome with new techniques that allow us to store and analyze data across different databases in distributed locations connected via networks. So-called distributed computing means huge amounts of data can be stored in little bits across lots of databases and analyzed by sharing the analysis between different servers, each performing a small part of the analysis.